So Jennifer Jo Cobb was scheduled to make her Cup debut this past weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. However, she was not approved by NASCAR for competition in the Cup Series. I know NASCAR has requirements that you need to meet before competing in the Cup Series, but I've never seen anything like this with a driver with as much experience that Jennifer Jo Cobb has had. Did NASCAR make an example out of her? Over the last couple years, drivers such as Quinn Houff, Cody Ware, Joey Gase, and other drivers, specifically in the Rick Ware Racing camp, have been criticized by some of the top Cup drivers that they are always in the way and they should not be out on the racetrack. It's actually quite funny that I bring up Rick Ware Racing because that is the exact team that Jennifer Jo Cobb was scheduled to race for. She was supposed to pilot the number 15 Rick Ware Racing Chevrolet, and she would have been the first female driver to make a Cup start since Danica Patrick in 2018. So let's look into Jennifer Jo Cobb a little further. She was actually approved a couple years ago for the Cup Series. However, requirements and performance standards have changed since that time. NASCAR takes in consideration past performance while going through the final approval, and having enough experience does not always mean laps completed. She does field her own team in the Camping World Truck Series. She first competed in that series in 2008, and since then she's made 217 starts, only getting one top 10 finish. If we want to look more closely, her 2020 stats, she made 21 of the 23 races, and she only finished on the lead lap one time the entire year. In 2019, she made 19 of the 23 races, and she had 2 lead lap finishes. She's also made 31 starts in the NASCAR Xfinity Series since 2004, her last start coming in 2018. NASCAR informed owner Rick Ware that Jennifer Jo Cobb would not be competing as she was not approved, and Rick Ware fully supported their decision. Now, I just want to look at a couple of things regarding this situation. And the first thing I want to look at is just going back to the previous week in Richmond, where she literally wrecked Norm Benning on purpose while running basically for last place. Now, that is not a good look. I understand it was kind of a payback situation and it's short track racing, but I mean, come on, you're 2 seconds off the pace. There's no need to be wrecking anybody on purpose. So I definitely think that that had a major part in this decision. As well, another big deciding factor was this is Talladega. I understand that the draft is a great equalizer and gives everyone an equal opportunity to win, especially the underfunded teams. But how crazy these races have been on Daytona and Talladega the last couple years and some of the wrecks that we've seen, this is definitely not a place that I think NASCAR feels comfortable having someone who literally just wrecked someone on purpose the week before make their debut in the Cup Series. I mean, I'm not saying that Jennifer Jo Cobb would have caused a bad accident, but it's just not the time and place, especially with these guys just showing up on Sunday and going right to racing. No practice, no qualifying. It's just not a comfortable position for NASCAR to be in to have someone like that make their Cup debut. However, I would say if it was any other track, NASCAR probably would have said yes. And I truly believe that. I know she definitely hasn't had like the best career and stuff and has basically driven underfunded equipment her entire career. So what's the difference if she gets in a Rick Ware car in the Cup Series? It's literally the same situation that she's been in her entire career. So maybe they will reconsider and try a different track for her to get her first start at. Talladega was definitely not the place. And I think NASCAR has kind of made an example of her saying, hey, we're not just going to let anybody get in these cars and go out there. And they're going to be a lot tougher and stricter on the requirements that can get you into a Cup Series ride. I know recently with a lot of these paid drivers and stuff like that, the talent level seems to be slowly diminishing, and it's not just a NASCAR problem, it's a problem from Formula One everywhere. There's paid drivers, and it really sucks, and that is kind of the future of how motorsports is going, is if you don't have the financial backing, then you're not going to be around at the top or even make it to the top. And Kyle Busch was even quoted saying one time, you got guys who haven't even won late model races competing in the Cup Series.
We're the top echelon of motorsports, and we got guys that have never won late model races running out here on the racetrack. It's pathetic. They don't know where to go. So, what else do you do?
And he's right. They should not be out there. If you haven't had any success in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series, you should not be out there at the Cup level, regardless if you're a paid driver or not. And I hope going forward with this, NASCAR did make an example of her and will make the driving standards and requirements a lot more harder to hit before just going out there and getting into a Cup Series car. If you enjoyed this video and agreed with me, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate the feedback. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think on the situation. I'd love to hear from you. And subscribe to the channel for more NASCAR related content, as well as Formula One, IndyCar, and IMSA. Take care, everyone. See you guys in the next video. Later.